2. What was that? Code of the Street. I just finished watching it and it just kind of like gave me a fuck yeah Luke Cage moment. But right off the bat, you kind of like Luke Cage kind of talks a little bit about heroes, and more at the end he talks more about heroes. So let's talk about the beginning and end of the sequence, because it opened up in the sequence of him being having a gun put into his head, and another black dude calling him the N-bomb. And then he kind of goes off and about how dare, I'm too tired, blah blah blah, to be called the N-bomb. And he starts like, how dare you call me, the N-bomb in front of one of our heroes' buildings, I guess, or monuments, I guess, which was I believe a Malcolm X church or something like that. Didn't really, yeah. But he's pissed about all the using the racial slurs towards his own people, it seems like, and I do see this is going to be a theme of oppression. This is in Harlem. A lot of black characters in this. It's really interesting to see how all the characters are starting to come together. As like Cottonmouth, yeah, sure, you have he's your gangster of Harlem. He's Rise of Power, has some history with Pops, the street. He's been there forever. And then you also have the city, I believe the city councilor for Harlem there, or Hell's Kitchen. And she kind of seems to be this, well, they're cousins with her and Cottonmouth are cousins, it appears. And it seems that they're kind of doing this family thing, working together to get into each other's positions of power. And except I just don't like how she kind of portrays herself. Like, it just seems so 1950s, 60s kind of damish, kind of how she sits there and she's all dressed up in a cocktail dress and kind of like just kind of hanging out in the VIP or the office of the, of this club of Cottonmouths that has. It just, I don't know, it just doesn't feel legitimate. I don't know. She's supposed to be a city councilor, so would the city councilor really be seen with a gangster in Harlem? But is it a kind of like a community thing because they're the racial division and the racial unification of it? I'm not quite sure about it, but I think she's sleazy and dirty too. So she's starting to like see all these crimes unfold around her, and she just kind of lets it happen and accepts it. Like, this is how business is going to get done here. Let's go on a little bit about, it seems like Pops. It seems like there's always a moment of philosophy. Last one was moving forward, and this one was time. Him and Cottonmouth dabbled a little bit about philosophy about time and how it's perceived, never should be wasted, and it's something really precious. It's kind of like a little interesting little interaction you got to see as Luke Cage was, he works at the barbershop that Pops runs. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but man, he's just kind of sweeping up and listening. All this is going on because Pops is looking for the people, or not Pops, Cottonmouth is looking for the people that ripped him off of that deal that cold $1 million, because he's located half of it, and located half of it and retrieved his cash, and there's a dead body. And Chico is still on the run there, and eventually Pops asks Luke Cage, Power Man, to go find Chico, and he does locate him, and because Pops thinks he can do some parlay and exchange, a peaceful exchange. And he actually does locate Chico, and then his next task is to go about and contact Cottonmouth, saying we need to do a little parlay. You need to do this because of Pops. And he's not agreeable to do it, but after they talk more, he's agreeing to do it. But at the same time, Cottonmouth's henchmen just located where Chico was, which is down at the barbershop there. And so they set off to go distribute justice. But Luke Cage gets back there first and relays the news that there's a good chance that Cottonmouth is going to parlay with Pops. But before any of that can happen, his thugs just come on in with 2 MP5s and just go... except in slow motion, you know. Pops gets fatally wounded, other people get shot up and dead. I believe Chico is severely injured, or if he's... yeah, severely injured, because he's the only eyewitness. Detective Misty and her partner, Detective Misty. Yes, actually, let's stop there for a second. Detective Misty is the pretty lady that Luke Cage banged in the first one. Except now he discovers, oh, it's a Detective Misty. And he's kind of all, you know, poking a little fun at like little truths and revealing knowledge and stuff like that at it. It was kind of cute. Even in the tense situation when it kind of happened. Because she was looking for Chico as well. But back to it, yeah, everybody gets all shot up and stuff like that. Luke Cage shields it, realizes who did it, and gets on down the ground and is like, oh, Pop, no, you're gonna die! And yeah, of course, that's what happens, and it kind of sets off the calm before the storm, I feel. I feel like it's gonna really start hitting the fan. We're gonna see some super-powered superhero go out and start kicking some butt, and it's going to be interesting because this was a catalyst. I'm pretty sure this is the one that's going to set off for the next 11 episodes, and it's just going to be mind-blowing. And yeah, it kind of ended on a note of the thug talking to Cottonmouth, who gunned down Pops. And he's not really happy about it. Like, sure, he was happy about his problem being solved, about the money was retrieved. And he was going to say, okay, yeah, whatever. And then he says, yeah, and he was about to let it go, but not realizing, but he killed Pops. And then once he realized that he killed Pops, he couldn't, you know, fix the situation with Pops. Pops and him had some serious history. And so Gangster gets tossed off the roof of a tall building, goes splat right on the car. Actually, the sound of it, the sound effect of it, I was just going like, oh yeah! I was like, yeah! Yeah, I kind of sometimes get excited when people get exploded and shit. Right? Yeah, so I gotta say, the Code of the Street, it was a great episode. A lot of more, you learn definitely more about the characters, more of the history of what is being set up. Definitely, sadly, we lost Pops already. I was really liking him. I was hoping he'd be kind of like the philosopher, the voice of reason to guide Luke or Power Man through. Will he get called Power Man anymore throughout the series? And will there be any more philosophy moments with Pop? No. Let us have a moment for Pop. And there will be no more philosophy time with Pop.